Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, first things first, thank you so much to all my new partners, everyone who has invested in the SEC regulated opportunity of investing in the YouTube channel. The link is in the description if you have not heard about it. The deadline is fastly approaching, so check it out. Can't speak on specifics here because of the SEC regulations. So click the link in the description, check it out, see if it's for you. Unfortunately, no, can't update anything, can't change anything, can't add anything. So if anything is sold out, it's sold out. Sorry that you missed it. If I do it again in the future, hope you can join, but I have no plans to do it in the future. So hopefully you can join us. God bless you. Now back to this topic. Now I want to touch on this because this is something that we're seeing right now, and I may have an old video on it, but I always like to consult my spirit and just really hear from the spirit and get a fresh update, and also be mindful. I'm gonna do another video on something completely different, but I want to talk to y'all about this, the tarot reading and all of those things, because somebody mentioned that in the comments yesterday because I said something about it. But we're gonna talk about that and touch on some scripture dealing with that because of the fear of not being married, the fear of not meeting a life partner. People are turning to divination and things that are seen as an abomination to God, but yet there are people who try to sneak and hide it through the spirit a little ugly, as if God is okay with it and that it's a part of Christianity, and it 100% is not. So divination and talking to the dead and seeing the future through cards and psychic readings and all of those things are what 100% abomination to God. But as far as this topic here, when it comes to men today, so many women are saying, hey, Tony, men are not approaching anymore. And let's address that first. The reason why men are not approaching anymore is it's similar to the same reason why Uber Eats and DoorDash is doing well. It's hard to get people to get up and get dressed and to go sit down in a restaurant when it could be delivered to their door. And it's hard to get people to go to a singular restaurant when there are different places that have multiple restaurants inside of this one market, this one area. So that's the same thing with the dating world because of online dating. And then outside of online dating, you have Facebook dating. And then you have just general social media. You have Instagram and LinkedIn. So men are also using those places as dating apps. Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and Facebook are being used as dating apps. So a man can have like a buffet, and he's able to go on Instagram and he's able to see a woman from all 50 states and then all 5,000 cities within that state. And he can search hashtag, Houston baddies, and he can find a page that posts beautiful women in Houston, in DC, in Atlanta. I'm not sure if that really exists, but I know it does. And he just can see, and then he can shoot his shot. Shoot his shot. A lot of women don't even answer on social media. So that also demoralizes him and makes him say, well, they're not going to answer in person. They're not answering on social media. And then in person, the level of women in a man's city is what the young men call mid. Wealthhealth.com. What the young men call mid, because what you have to realize is with that, men are online and they're seeing all of these different women on Instagram. So when you could see a whole bunch of women, all different shapes, sizes, colors, religions, everything, personalities, because women shooting videos, they're doing reels, they talking. So now a man gets to really know a woman and know her mindset and know where she coming from, see her lifestyle. They get to do all of that. And so, y'all forgive me 1 second. My son text me, make sure you don't need nothing. They get to do all of that. And so now compare going to this woman, this influencer, this model, this life coach, this author, this business owner. Compare going to her Instagram and seeing her reels, seeing her day in the life, seeing her doing all these different things. And then hold on one second, my son writing me. And it's like, okay, get to see all of that, but this woman that he's walking by in person, all he gets to see is just her walking. Doesn't get to hear her talk, doesn't get to hear where her mind is, doesn't get to see what she's eating. And so that's why I don't believe in online dating in the sense of like eHarmony and Match.com and all of that, unless it's a specific special situation. Like it's certain clients that I talk to and I say, hey, look, you are approved to do online dating. Like you could do because of your region, your city, your age, your experience, but you need to do it with coaching. So be able to talk about the men that you meet and let's vet them. Look at his picture, look at everything, evaluate his messages so that you're not wasting time and that you don't get scammed. So I'm against online dating in the sense of signing up on a dating site or a dating app on average, like in general. There are exceptions to the rule. But what I'm not against is men and women meeting in the DM, in the stories, in the likes and comments on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook, because it's not a dating app. It's a networking app. So you're not paying money to be on Instagram. It's completely different. You're not paying money to be on Instagram for the sole purpose of meeting people you can date or sleep with or marry. You're getting on there to have digital access and a digital journal and vlog with friends and family and then people you meet online. Y'all forgive him. My son text me. Just got to make sure everything good with him. Talking about his game. So think about that. Now, so that's why if you know that men are not approaching and you're a woman watching this, for one, if you're a man watch this, muster up the courage to approach women. Women actually still want to be approached if you did not know that as a man. And it comes with manhood being rejected, being turned down. If you can't handle a woman telling you, no, I'm married, no, I got a boyfriend, no, it's okay, I'm not interested. If you can't handle that as a man, you're going to fail at life. You're going to suck at this thing called life. So use that as practice for the real world, for real life. Because if you can't handle that, you're not going to be able to handle what comes with being a husband, a protector, and a provider. It's a lot of stuff that comes with it, a lot of curveballs, and you got to have the emotional intelligence to get up and keep fighting and keep going. But if you're afraid to approach a woman in person, you're losing. You're losing and you're losing big time. So think about this. If you're a woman watching this, you need to be posting on your Instagram stories and posting on your reels. You need to be posting an outfit of the day at least once a week. You need to be getting out of the house yet still, but even if you're just getting out of the house, so you could have a friend take a picture or the waitress take a picture of your outfit, post it, Friday night fun and outfit of the day, post it. So that way the men who bump into you online, they can see how you dress. Post how you eat. If you eat healthy, post it. If you eat bad, don't post it. Post that salad. Post avocado toast. Post what you read. Even if you don't actually buy the book, you need to go to Barnes and Noble, pick up a book, take a picture of it. And you don't got to say, oh, book I'm reading this week. You could put thinking about reading this. That way you're not lying. So show where your mind is. Post a scripture every now and then. or from your morning devotional. You could post that scripture. You could put it in your story so that your whole timeline, not like you're a religious nut and there's all scriptures, but you got to show, and this for men and women, you got to show a holistic view of yourself, because social media is a very real part of our life today. Not online dating, that's special occasion, but even though that is a very real part as well, I just don't stamp it and condone it. But social media is. So understand that. Now, the next reason why men, y'all got to forgive me, I got to go to work in 27 minutes, got to do the podcast with Caleb, Louder Than Words. If you haven't subscribed to that YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to it. You'll see it on the community page, Louder Than Words show, I think it's called on YouTube. But make sure you subscribe over there. Subscribe. And the next reason why men are afraid, some men are afraid to marry today, is because of a lack of self-control. It doesn't matter what men tell you and why, and they talking about afraid of losing half. Nobody afraid of that. That's not a real reason. It's a lack of self-control. It's kind of like, for a man mind, it's kind of like getting married for a lot of men is like eating grilled chicken and broccoli 3 meals a day for the rest of your life. And that's because they lack creativity. Those men lack creativity. So a man who's been in corporate, a man who's a creature of habit, a man who does corporate, video games, golf, he lacks creativity. So like this week with my wife, I have 3, 4, 5 different experiences, excursions, things that I have planned to do for her birthday. Her birthday is September 26th. And if you do that and you get out of the box, then marriage doesn't have to be grilled chicken and broccoli 3 meals a day for the rest of your life. So because of lacking creativity, men turn to vices. And when a man turns to a vice, like nasty movies, pornography, masturbation, strip club, casino, when a man turns to a vice because he lacks creativity and he thinks that he doesn't know how to have fun. So a man doesn't know how to identify. A lot of men, when I say man, I'm not talking about every man. I'm not talking about the whole male species. Understand that. Let's be clear, because y'all will be in the comment. He doesn't know how to look within and identify his gifts and his passions. So I'm never bored because I know myself. Going to Cine Bistro where I can watch a movie and eat dinner at the same time, that is like heaven on earth for me. And outside of that, going to a live sporting event, getting out of the house, instead of sitting on the couch watching the game, I go to the actual game. Hockey, baseball, basketball, football, soccer, tennis. I go. Even if I don't know a lot about it or too crazy about it, I get out the house and go. I done went skydiving with my wife, Top Golf, skating ring. And this is because of pornography. Men have the creativity of living, and life, doing life, has been zapped out of men. Men have been turned into zombies because it's porn, video games, and gambling. And then outside of that, it's love affairs with cigars or weed or alcohol. So that makes Jack a dull boy. He becomes a creature of habit, a robot, boring, no creativity, can't think out of the box. Like, I'll post different things. If back on my Instagram, you go to it, I'll post different things I've done for my wife. And guys act like I put on a spaceship and took her to Mars because I did a picnic at the beach and had a company come and set up the cabana and the little pillows and chairs and the picnic with the charcuterie and whatever, the drinks and all of that, and the sign "Happy Birthday, Cherie," and the pillows and the designs and the flowers right there on the shore in front of the ocean. And that cost probably $300 or $600. And guys like, wow, man, you doing them? Oh, wow. I'm like, man, that's the easiest thing in the world. I ain't even have to do no work. I just had to cut the check, get in the car, and show up. That was easy. And that's the thing. So that's what's making men afraid to get married, because they seeing it as a job. They're like, okay, so you mean I gotta talk to this woman every day? I gotta sit with her every day. So you telling me I got to give up my video game? I got to give up watching Sunday football? That's what they telling themselves. That's what they thinking. And then on top of that, you mean I got to only be in between one set of legs for the rest of my life? So the same little thing. And then what about this thing having vaginosis, this thing having yeast infection, this thing having ingrown hairs, this thing having all of that? So because they have a comparison of porn stars, they comparing the perfection, because the adult nasty movie actress is not going to get on the camera with ingrown hairs. She's not going to get on the camera with a yeast infection. This normal stuff that women could go through, but she ain't getting on the camera with even blemishes. A lot of, she ain't get. This is what I'm assuming, is that she not getting on the camera like that because she on TV. And then if they do, they probably got some makeup or something they could put on, or probably some waterproof makeup. I imagine they'd be on there sweating. And so I've never watched the stuff except for when I walked in my teammate's room in college. That's the only time I done seen pornography. I walked in their room and it's like 8 to 10 of my teammates sitting in there in a 2-person bedroom watching filth. Okay, my son showing me. Y'all forgive my son text me. Yeah, soccer player with blonde hair and eyebrow slit. I'm finna tell him looks like he eat booty. He be trying to show me this stuff like I'm finna prove something. He talking about, I'm telling you, the unorthodox appearance is the move nowadays. And he at Yale. I wrote him back, looks like he eat booty. That's what he look like. It's like these kids, they trying to do so much. But again, that come from that watching that porn. That's all it do. Can't tell y'all everything I'm writing. Gotta be that counsel me. I gotta be dramatic though with my son, because they be considering so much stuff. Like, no, son, you're not getting blonde hair. Absolutely not. You can do it at 18, but not while you're in my household. I'm raising men. He's talking about this guy lives under a rock. Y'all gotta forgive him. Still raising my son. Things just aren't the same, Dad. I would never do that. So I'm like, why are you discussing it then? If you'll never do the blonde hair, what are you showing me? It's like, okay, it's clowns in the circus with a red nose. I'm not gonna use that as no example. If I'm not want to be a clown with a red nose, why are you showing me this boy with blonde hair? He looked like he got no daddy. So okay, so you got a daddy. What you showing me for? He trying to show me things are not the same. But see, this is what your sons do when they not really saying they want to do this. They want you to teach them. They want you to raise them. My son is trying to pull this out of me. Like he like me to continuously reinforce standards and my beliefs and why I believe what I believe, because it's his way of saying, hey, Dad, why don't you like a brown skinned guy with blonde hair, his hair dyed blonde and an eyebrow slit and two earring in both ears with a sleeve of tattoos. So he told me his friend getting a tattoo on Friday. I said, you know how we look at that as parents when a 17-year-old get a tattoo? I said, we look at it as he's unparented. And I said, a college scout, a college coach, he will approve it if the kid is an absolute dog. If a kid is an absolute dog, a coach don't care. But if he's not all that good, the coach going to look like this is a spoiled brat because he he convinced his mom and dad to let him get a tattoo under the age limit of being able to do it on his own. So he runs his household. His household doesn't run him. And so I had explained that to my son. I run my house. You ain't getting no tattoo in my household. 18, you do what you want to do, but I'm gonna train you up the right way. Yeah, I got tattoos, but I got them at 18 and older. I ain't getting in my daddy's house. And so you see what I'm saying? This is the thing with men today. And this is another reason why men don't want to be married, is because they're not being raised. A lot of these men was raised by a single mom who didn't hold him accountable. It's okay if a man got to be with a single mom, but that single mom have to be loving, but yet strong. She got to have rules. She got to have standards, and she got to stand on her standards. And she cannot be afraid of him. She cannot back down to him. She cannot be yelling, screaming, cussing, but she also can't be scared of him, letting him do whatever he want to do. And she got to teach him about life. She got to teach him about perspective and perception. And she has to have standards and rules and consequences. And these men, they being raised and they dominating and dictating their house. And when they have a father, a lot of times they still get to do what they want to do because their father is actually caught up, focused on his cheating, his work wife or his Facebook wife. So he's not actually engaged in the household and what his son is doing. And he's not teaching his son and training his son. And I told my son yesterday, I said, son, you really don't understand how blessed you are to have the type of fathering that you have and the type of conversations we have on the way to practice and on the way home. Because a lot of dads do not talk to their sons the way I talk to you because they caught up watching porn or cheating on their wife. So their mind is gone, that they're not teaching their sons what their son need to learn. And that's why I'm gonna start this boys group for Zoom once a month when I carve out the time to do it, because I want to do it and be consistent and not set something up and then be failing the young men. And this is the thing. So because of this, these young men, they looking at this right here. Y'all gotta forgive me. And so you got to understand that. So they looking at this, and these men, they like, man, I don't want no dull life. And this is what you have to realize in this society too, is a lot of these men are, it's a lot of men out there. So that's why you got to become a 1% woman if you want a 1% man, because it's a lot of men out there that's sleeping with transvestites. It's a lot of men out there that's doing, threesomes and foursomes because you can hire these women off of whatever sites or apps or whatever offline. You see these women. It's so many women who are, they've been turned over to a reprobate mind. They become a Jezebel spirit, and they just living for money. They just want money. My wife showed me last night this thing where this young lady, she on TikTok and she got like real pumped up lips. My son called them lip filler demons. He do not like a bunch of lip filler, and he called them lip. Every time we see a woman, she got real big old pumped up lips from the filler. He be like, "Oh, there's another lip filler demon." No way he come with that name. So there's this lady on TikTok. She a lip filler demon, and she had a boyfriend, and then she had this best friend, but the best friend was married, and the woman cheated on her boyfriend with her best friend's husband. And then when she got exposed for cheating with her best friend's husband, another young lady who I think used to deal with Lil Baby came out and said, it's wild seeing your ex-boyfriend's side chick or your man's side chick get caught up for sleeping with her best friend's husband. I'm like, this is diabolical. Do you mean to tell me a woman doing that, like a woman moving like that? Are you crazy? And got hundreds of thousands of followers or millions of followers online? Like, it's women getting down like that, but living regular lives. And a lot of them women, they never show a man online so that they could sleep with multiple men. And what they waiting on is the highest bidder. They want the man before they settle down and lock in and show a man online. They want the man with the most money. So these lip filler demons, that might need to be another series, stealing that from my son. These lip filler demons, they also are decreasing. They are single-handedly decreasing the marriage rate because they going out here living like modern day Jezebels, like Proverbs 5 women. It's either Proverbs 5 or Proverbs 7 or something like that, that warn the man about the woman that'll sift you like wheat. Like she flatter you with her mouth and then end you. They living like Proverbs 5 or whatever instead of like Proverbs 31. And guess what? These men, because porn is so readily accessible because of sites like OnlyFans, I mean, they made the owner of OnlyFans so rich. I was reading that the other day. This man like got so many billions from OnlyFans. They all that nasty filth debauchery on there he got on there. I'm like, see, it's crazy how if you do something for the devil, you get rich. And then those of us over here that's working for the Lord, you know, we taking the long road, and we got to watch these clowns who create a porn site become a billionaire. And then we over here with integrity doing it the right way. And we rob Peter to pay Paul, to the Lord say, you ready? I could trust you. I'm finna give you Abraham favor. And so it's like, but hey, it's worth it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But this is what these men are up against. So you got to understand that you can't just look at it. A lot of times people will look at it and just prescribe and say, oh, the world is just in damnation. The world is just doomed, but you're not looking at the spiritual aspect. You're not paying attention to the spiritual warfare. And so when you see, understand that OnlyFans is being promoted. Like, I hate to even say the word because I don't want people going to the site and getting in the rabbit hole and getting trapped up. So don't visit the site. But that's a pornographic site. And then you have this other site that I used to see people posting and talking about, Pornhub. And so you got these sites that's right there on the phone, like that's boom right there, and you could watch all kind of filth and debauchery. And then you compare that to seeing, you know, Monica Triple X, Bumblebee Triple X, Loose Booty 901, Loose Booty 305. Like, you got flavors of the week. Like, you could watch a different woman every single day. And then on each of the 7 days, you could have you a woman for breakfast, a woman for lunch, and a woman for dinner. And then you compare that pleasure-seeking life of filthy lucre to getting married and your woman having a headache or a stomach ache every time you get ready to get you some. And so that's how men looking at it, because they're not seeing the beauty in the union. They're not seeing like, hey, this is a life partner. This is a human that I get to do life with, that I get to see the experiences, the highs and the lows of what a woman deals with. And she get to be there and support me, or the highs or the lows of what a man deals with. And we get to start a family, and we get to raise children as a team. And we get to do what really matters. We get to have structure. We get to have safety. We get to have confidence. We get to have love, trust, union. We get to build community. And they don't see that. They don't see the value and the virtue and the beauty in that, because they comparing it to a quick nut like a squirrel. They're comparing it to the variety of women that they get to lust after, and they not understanding how pitiful it looks to God and to an outsider looking in, to look at a man who is touching himself while looking at a woman through a screen. They don't process how that looks. They don't process how that makes you look like the first cousin of Jeffrey Dahmer. That you're looking at a screen and you're touching yourself with some of P. Diddy baby oil, and you're making faces and moaning by yourself while looking at a screen. And then you get up and go into the real world and shake people's hands, and you're staring at 12-year-old girls because your favorite adult actress looks like Ariana Grande, a 12-year-old, or Tyler, a 12-year-old. So now you're looking at your best friend from college's daughter who's 12. And you are a functioning pervert and you don't realize it because you've been turned over to a reprobate mind. And instead of meeting any woman in the world and building with her and getting married to her, you rather watch red pill podcasts to feed your belief system, your twisted, jaded narrative, or you rather invest in a yellow couch and start a podcast. And it's just disgusting that men are not marrying at a high rate. And then you have idiots who say, well, let's not force marriage. Let's not encourage marriage. Let's not get people to get married when they're not ready for it. That's what life is. Your 5-year-old is not ready for kindergarten. Your 18-year-old is not ready for the real world in college and university. You're not ready for a job on the first day. What you think they got internships? That's what life is. Going into uncharted territory for yourself, not being ready, but using your human brain to learn and to grow and to adapt and to adjust and to find and to create love, to create success in this union, this holy matrimony called marriage. That's a part of being a man. That's a part of life versus sitting down watching mammy lame podcasters give you reasoning and excuses not to get married. Like, that is so degenerate. Like, when you really think about that, it's like, ugh, can you see yourself? Hey, click the link in the description. We're going to finish this up. Normally, y'all know I go an hour on here, but I got to record the podcast here in 5 minutes. If you can't join us on the channel investment opportunity, God bless you. Keep your head up. What you can do is get over to wealthofhealth.com and get you some of these elderberry gummies before they all sold out. Get some of these elderberry gummies. And to those y'all who already bought some and you talking about you done with them, order you another one. See, the reason why I ain't create a subscription, because I don't want your account to get sent into the negative if you had too many bills come out, and then you have to be calling the bank lying on my company, talking about that was a fraudulent charge, and then you got to be smitten by God for lying on his child's honest business, and you messing up your favor and your blessings because you calling in line. So I didn't want to put you in that predicament in the tough times. So that's why I didn't create a subscription-based model yet, so that when you done and your wallet say you could do it, you could just go order you another bottle on your own. And we getting ready to release the vitamin D3. And then after that, we may do the hair, skin, and nails vitamins. Everybody can't do biotin though, because some people, a lot of times people with mixed cultures in their blood, they get breakouts from biotin. It don't break me out. I got that good Nigerian Cameroonian blood. I got that good African in me. It don't break me out. But I've noticed one of my clients who mixed told me biotin break her out sometime, and my wife told me biotin break her out sometime. And she like, my wife is like Black Jamaican and Indian Jamaican, so I think that India and that Africa mix, that skin might not be all the way genetically sold up all the way, but those of us with that good pure Africana, hey, get that biotin in you. And so we're gonna do the hair, skin, and nails next, I think. And then we're gonna do ashwagandha. I'm gonna do the creatine gummies for the athletes and for the men and women who need some creatine, because they saying that it's very widely studied and it benefits you a lot. We used to abuse it as college football players, so that's why I was a little leery, because we used to have the creatine powder and we used to abuse it, and some guys would be peeing blood, and I think it was because they was taking too much or they weren't drinking enough water throughout the day. And so I had a cousin who was an NFL player. He said he had him peeing blood, but the gummies is totally different, and then the powder. So y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna be building this company slowly but surely. So appreciate your support, and thank you for my new partners too for the YouTube investment. Y'all read it, and it was pretty shocking to me to see how little knowledge that a lot of us had about investing. Like, that really broke my heart just to see that. And it also, it's a lot of, in this SEC regulated opportunities, a lot of first time investors, and that was very shocking as well for people in their 30s and 40s, and it's their first investment. So I'm gonna be busting my butt on here, putting out good content, just to do everything I can to support you in this investment journey. So, and then what you could do is just watch the videos from beginning to end. And if you ain't got nothing else going and you got unlimited data, then let it play again and let it play again and keep letting it play. And especially if you invested in this here channel, just keep letting it play instead of going and watching, Yellow Couches and other little podcasts with fornicating men. Just keep letting it play, because you a partner. And so, and use that unlimited data, like make AT&T or Metro or PCS or Cricket, make them earn their keep with that unlimited data. Oh, unlimited data. Okay, we finna find out. We finna find out. But hey, God bless you. Click the link in the description and check that deadline, because when it's done now. Don't become, 20K years then. No. We not doing Negro spiritual business. This SEC regulated. We doing it the right way. And I'm not one of them scammers that be like, well, this was the deadline, but I decided to extend it another week. No. We ain't doing the scamming. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.